Hey guys! Ayan na, nag-start na po tayo mga kapatiran ko. Nakikita ko na ang aking sarili sa aking Facebook. Okay, I am so excited to be with you this afternoon. Alam niyo kung bakit? Kasi maganda yung pag-uusapan natin sa hapong to. Nako, sa mga mahilig mag-add cart dyan, eto na. This is it for you guys. This is the time for us to talk about that. Alam mo yung experience na parang feeling mo milyonaryo ka sa isang araw, ganon. You feel like you're a millionaire, tas lilibre mo lahat ng mga kaibigan mo, kaklase mo, ganon. Tapos kung sinong makita mo, mag-o-offer ko, libre kita, libre kita. Ganon. Kaso lang, the following day, marirealize mo, ay, parang wala na akong pera. Ba't parang ubus na ata yung pera ko? Naubos siya, kakapanlibre mo. Kasi feeling mo nga milyonaryo ka. So, yan ang pag-uusapan natin sa hapong ito. Ano ba yung dapat na disiplina pagdating sa paghawak ng pera? Kailan at kailan dapat at hindi dapat nag-add cart? Yan. Paano ka ba kikita? Let's say, estudyante ka pa lang, pero alam mo yon, gusto mo namang kumita, pero parang medyo hindi pa malinaw yung mga bagay-bagay na yan para sa'yo. So, yan ang pag-uusapan natin sa hapong ito at mas marami pang iba. We are so privileged to have our guests for this afternoon. Pero syempre mamaya bago ko sila ipakilala. Alam niyo naman na yung kalakaran natin dito. Dito sa #hangout, ang ginagawa natin, syempre babatiin natin yung mga tao na nandyan. At saka natutuwa ako guys kasi ang aga-aga nandito na kayo. As in. Kaya ito yung isa sa mga bagay na ipinagpapasalamat ko sa mga kaibigan na meron tayo. Grabe, sobrang aga nandyan na kaagad kayo. Of course, I wanna say hi to our viewers this afternoon. Maxine Alpa is here already. Tinag niyo na si Samantha. Oy, maayong hapon sa ako ang mga igsuon diha sa Northern Mindanao. Sige, Ate Wendelin, maayong hapon. Nandyan si Mandel. Arian Serrano is also here. Angel May is here. Christine is here. Ren is also here. Raven. Valerie. Ang dami nyo, guys. Valerie Goldwyn. Sino si Valerie? Kilala ko ba si Valerie? Kilala ko ba si Valerie? Marami pa. Pati si Ate Kisha ay tinag na rin. Oy, guys, alina kayo dito, hapon na. Ken, maayong hapon sa imo diha. Bye. Naomi, yan. So, isang mga tinag ni Ate Wendelin, magpakita na kayo kasi i-check ni Ate Wenz ang inyong ang attendance ninyo para sa hapong ito. Sabi ni Mandel, pray before add to cart. Yan talaga mga taong to no. Ariel is also here with us. Tinag niya na si Hailey. Yan. Oy, si Phil, Joseph Abraham Juanes is also watching this afternoon. Phil, salamat kaayo for volunteering and for serving the Lord with us. Thank you for your heart of service for the Lord. Carol Soriano is also watching this afternoon. Joshua Ditera, alam nyo, nakakatuwa naman talaga kayo no? Ito yung mga every afternoon nakakasama natin pag Thursday. Uy, kaibigan ko to, Stephanie Ann Bermudez, guys, kung gusto nyo ng pinakamasarap na lasagna at fried kangkong, crispy kangkong, nako, yan. I-contact nyo yan si Stephanie Ann Bermudez. Masarap ang kanilang niluluto. Charles Dominic is also here watching us this afternoon. Frenzel Kayona, sabi niya, hi Miss Venus, good afternoon po. Good afternoon din sa'yo, Iha. Ang dami na, shout out kay James Emmanuel de Jesus, nanonood siya. Boy, para sa'yo tong topic na to sa hapong ito. Pakinggan mo tong mabuti kasi marami kang mapupulot dito. Hindi ko to natutunan nung kabataan ko Kaya tinatag ko kayo kasi gusto ko matutunan nyo to habang kabataan nyo pa. Sana natutunan ko to nung bata-bata pa ako. Charles Dominic is also watching. Uy, si Gleceril Ruel, kaibigan ko to. Magandang hapon sa'yo, Gleceril. Joshua Go is also watching. Sabi niya pa, shout out po Miss Venus. Good afternoon po. Good afternoon to you, Joshua. Mylene Dyson Soriano is also watching. Sabi niya, tinag niyo na rin yung kaibigan niya. Ayan, tinatag na ho nila ang kanilang mga kaibigan. That is really good. Sa mga kaibigan niyo na wala pa dito, sabihin niyo na pumunta na sila. Ana Morelos is also watching this afternoon. Hi, Ana. Good afternoon to you. Sabi ni Rihanna Agata Pangindian pa, shout out po. Guys, kung gusto niyo rin ng pinakamasarap na banana cake, yan. Tiny Oven. Puntahan nyo yan, si Miss Rihanna Agata Pangindian. Okay. Sabi ni Stephanie Ann, palike din daw ho ng Saning's recipe. Gusto ko yung may mga pa-shoutout na tayo ng ating mga business dito. At dahil business na rin ako na pinag-uusapan natin, bakit nga ba hindi natin ituloy-tuloy yung usapan tungkol sa pera na yan? Okay. Pero bago yan, sa mga gustong maglaro, may pa-games tayo dito, guys. So, ang gagawin nyo lang ganito, ha? Instruction, listen carefully. Ang mga mahilig dyan sa pelikula, ito yung ating laro para sa hapong ito. We call this pelikula, #NotAlone edition. Yan talaga. Maganda yan, guys. Okay, so ang gagawin ko ganito. Magpapakita kami ng mga linya galing sa pelikula. Babasahin ko yan sa inyo with feelings. Matagal-tagal na ho kung hindi umarte nung mga kabataan ko pa. Pero subukan natin ngayon. Babasahin ko yan sa inyo and then huhulaan ninyo kung ano yung title. Title, hindi yung bida na artista, hindi yun. Title nung pelikula ng linya na babanggitin ko. But wait, there's more. Sa instructions, meron tayong 2 rounds. Ibig sabihin, 2 tao ang mananalo sa game na to. Sa unang round, may 3 items kaming babanggitin. Ibig sabihin, 3 linya ng 3 pelikula. Pag alam mo yung sagot, wag mo munang ipopost, okay? Kasi no copying tayo dito. So, pagka alam mo na yung sagot, ang gagawin mo lang is, i-type mo lang yung sagot, pero wag mo muna isi-send. Antayin mo yung pangalawa kong question hanggang sa pangatlo kong question. 3 lang yan. Pagkatapos na 3, nasulat mo na yung 1, 2, 3. Title nung 3, tsaka mo isi-send. Okay? So, ang 3 may tamang sagot. Unang person na may 3 tamang sagot. Malinaw ba yun, guys? Simulan na natin ang ating palaro sa hapong ito. Let's check our very first line. Round 1. Okay, ayan na. Okay, round 1. Eto na, mga kapatid. Nagpakatatag ako. Nagpakatigas ako. Kasi kailangan ko. Pero hindi dahil matigas ako, wala na akong nararamdaman. Hindi ako nasasaktan. Nasasaktan din ako. Yan. Alam nyo tong pelikula na to? Ito, 3 sila. Ay, marami sila magkakapatid dito. Nag-uusap-usap sila dyan. Tapos nung nag-uusap-usap sila, ayan na, nagdadrama na yung mga magkakapatid, naglalabasan na ng sama ng loob. Kaya ano ang title ng movie na yan? Huwag niyo po munang isi-send, mga kapatiran, dahil antayin ninyo ang pangalawang tanong. Okay, second item or second movie. Sabi niya dito, do you have any idea how much it hurts to be here right now? Alam mo ba yung pakiramdam na makita kang nag-aalaga ng ibang tao, ng ibang bata dyan, habang tumatakbo sa isip ko, bakit ako? Sarili mong anak, hindi mo ko nagawang alagaan ng ganyan? Yun, sakit noon, guys. Ito sa scene na to, naaalala ko, pahawak-hawak niya yung camera, oh. Tapos pinipicturean niya yung nanay niya, oh. Tapos biglang tumutulo na yung luha niya. Hindi niya kinaya. Tapos nilipat niya sa iba. Ganon. Guys, reminder sa mga kakapasok lang po, mga kapatiran, huwag niyo munang isi-send ang title. Ba't may nagsusumasagot dito ng Anak at 3 Musketeers? Guys, huwag niyo munang isi-send ang title, okay? Dahil isi-send niyo yan pagtapos na ang 3. Ito ang number 3. Number 3. Ayan. Kasi ang totoo, umaasa pa rin akong sabihin mo, sana ako pa rin. Sana ako na lang. Ako na lang ulit. Ouch. Aray ko, tumama. Yan. Sa mga tinamaan ho ng linyang yan, This is the right time to send your answers. Ready, go! Send it, send it, send your answers. 3 ho dapat yan. At sa unang 3, unang tao na makakasagot ng 3. Okay? Sa isang sagot, 3 dapat. Ano yung unang tanong? Pangalawa at pangatlo. Okay? Tama yung sagot nito ni pero ayan, dapat 3. Wait, may nanalo na ho. This person, EJ Gonzalez, 4 Sisters in a Wedding. Asan na yun si EJ? Uy, hindi EJ, mali yung number 2 mo. Sorry EJ, mali ho ang iyong sagot. Hanapin natin. 4 Sisters, bakit ba anak yung number 2 nyo? Hindi naman yan eh. Anak. Ayun, may tumama na. Si Cheska. Hindi, mali si Cheska. Ito. Si Chris Angel Padilla. 4 Sisters and a Wedding. Crazy Beautiful You. And, mali yung number 3 mo, ma'am. Mali yung number 3 mo. Chris Vanilla. Pakiayos po, mga kapatiran. Subukan natin tong kay Rose. Rose. Ano ba naman yan, mga kapatid? Bakit mali yung mga sagot ninyo? Hi to nanonood ho sa atin ngayon si Kuya Jik. Magandang hapon sa iyo, Kuya Jik. Sino nang nanalo, mga kapatid? May nanalo na ba? May nanalo na ba, guys? 4 Sisters in a Wedding. Ayan ho ang tamang sagot. 4 Sisters and the Wedding. Crazy Beautiful You. And One More Chance. Okay? Sino ang nanalo sa atin sa hapong ito? Let me see. Ang daming sumasagot pero mali naman ang mga sagot ninyo. Okay, to my team, kayo ho ang bahalang maghanap kung sino ang panalo. Paki-post na lang ho sa si Christina. Hanapin natin anong full name ni Christina. Si Christina daw ang panalo. Ano pong full name ni Christina? Okay, Christina, hahanapin ka namin. Ikaw ang panalo sa round na to. Let's do round 2. Okay, round 2. Ito na guys, ang chance ninyong mag-uwi ng ating load para sa hapong ito. Round 2. First, movie. Kung mahal mo ko, bakit pinapapili mo ko? Ayun. Sabi dun ni magkasama sila kasi yung kuya ayaw nag-I love you dun sa girl. Yun. Tapos sabi niya, pag nag-I love you daw siya, ayaw niya na daw dun sa girl. Kasi iniiwan daw siya. Ano tong movie na to? Okay? Number 2. Check natin, guys. Ano yung pangalawa? Sabi niya, am I not good enough? Pangit ba ako? Kapalit-palit ba ako? No! Then why? Sino yung nag-no? Yung guy yung nag-no doon, guys. Sabi niya, then why? Ito naaalala ko, may mga tilamsik pa to ng laway eh. Malaway-laway pa dun si ate nung sinasabi niya tong linya na to. Pero ang ganda ng pelikulang ito kung napanood niyo. Actually, hindi ko naman napanood tong mga to pero pinanood ko yung mga snippets niya. Okay, so that's question number 2. Let's go to question number 3. Ito, chill lang sila nito. Nag-uusap sila tsaka nung kaibigan niya. Sabi niya, kung yung sardinas nga may label, relasyon pa kaya? Yun, si ate. Kasi wala silang label ni kuya. Okay, what's the answer to that? 3 questions. Let me check sino ang may tamang kasagutan na mag-uuwi ng ating papremyo para sa hapong ito. Subukan ho natin sino. Nakakatawa yung mga sagot ng anak. Paano yung lalamang anak ang sagot dyan? Sa pangalawa hong katanungan, ano ang tamang sagot? Okay, let's look at the winners. Ate Don, magandang hapon ho sa inyo. Sama ho kayo dito sa pag-game ho namin. May mga pelikula ho kaming pinapahulaan dito, ate. Chine-check ko lang kung meron na ho bang tumama sa ating katanungan. Medyo mahirap-hirap tong second round na to. Pero tatandaan ninyo, yung bida, ito, si Jai Cruz. Hello, love, goodbye, my ex and Wise this time. Ang galing naman ni Jai. Very good. Congratulations. Jai, nanalo ka. At si Christina kanina ang nanalo para sa ating round na ito. Ang saya, no? Ayan na ho yung katapusan. Minsan talaga ganon. Yung mga bagay-bagay na ina-enjoy mo, tapos biglang matatapos na lang ganon. Pero okay lang yan. dahil kahit natapos yung ating palaro sa hapong ito, sisimulan naman natin yung ating topic for this afternoon. As I've mentioned to you a while ago, we will be talking about ano ba ang tamang paraan ng pag-handle ng money. Lalo ngayon, ang dami ng mga entrepreneurs online. So nakakatawa na marami tayong mga binibenta. Isa ho ako dyan, nagbebenta ho ako ng laing at Bicol Express online. Alam nyo, I would like to introduce to you our guests for this afternoon. Nabasa ko yung libro nila na ang allowance na hindi bitin. Alam nyo ba, nung nabasa ko tong libro na to, recently lang, actually isang araw lang, nung binasa ko, sabi ko, sana nabasa ko to nung kabataan ko. Kasi kung nabasa ko to nung kabataan ko, sana ngayon may idea na ako kung paano i-handle ng tama ang pera. Sana nung may pera pa ako, na-handle ko ng maayos. Yung mga ganon. But I'll allow them to talk to you guys and we will learn a lot from these two men. I'm gonna introduce to you our first guest for this afternoon. He discovered the gift of writing during his college years in the La Salle University as a communication arts major. His passions include being the marketing content writer of Sanitary Care Products Asia Incorporated, where he works, and sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ as a discipler. So please welcome Brother Philip Roa. Our next guest for this afternoon is a best-selling author of 8 books. Amazing. Co-founder of Salt and Light Ventures and Inspire Leadership Consultancy. Husband to Miss Universe first runner-up 1999 Miss Miriam Kiambao. And father to Josh and Elijah. Please welcome co-servant in the Kingdom of God, Brother R.D. Roberto. Magandang hapon, guys. Hey, Phil. Hey, Sir R.D. Good afternoon to you. Magandang hapon. Do you guys want to say hi to our viewers this afternoon?
Hello. Hey, Philip. Good to see you.
Yeah, Tito. Good to see you too. And magandang hapon po sa lahat na nanonood. Thank you for tuning in with us here.
Salamat sa mga nanonood. Maganda pa kayo sa hapon.
Nako, yung magandang hapon na yan, mas lalo hong mapapaganda yung hapon nila kapag natutunan nila tong mga matututunan nila sa inyo this afternoon. So siguro, I'm gonna jump into our first question. Kasi karamihan sa mga nanonood sa atin for this afternoon are students or siguro kakagraduate lang nila at wala pang trabaho talagang napapasukan. And they might be, or probably they're asking, para sa akin ba tong topic na to? Usapang pera, hindi ba obligasyon pa ng magulang ko na bigyan ako ng allowance? Hindi ba karapatan ko na magkaroon ng allowance dahil estudyante pa ako? What can you say about that? Sir RD, do you want to start?
Yeah. Well, I want to babato ko yung tanong sa kanila ulit. Bakit sila nandito ngayon? Bakit sila nanonood at nakikinig ngayon? So, kung hindi para sa kanila yung topic ngayon, bakit sila nakikinig? I think universal naman yung need na kahit nung bata ako, nung binibigyan ng allowance, parang anong gagawin ko dito? Kasi I don't know about you, Philip, pero nung nasa grade school ako or high school or college, walang topic about stewardship of money o kung paano i-manage yung allowance na bibigay sa atin. Wala eh. So ngayon ang pagkakataon.
Ngayon na ang sabi ko nga kanina, Sir RD, parang nung estudyante rin naman ako ay hindi naman din ako, ewan ko kung tinuro sa akin to nung estudyante ako at elementary at high school, pero parang hindi ko naaalala na itinuro sa akin to. Kaya naman, parang sayang no, sana natutunan ko tong ganito. Phil, what can you say about that?
That's actually true. Na-gets ko na lang value ng pera na pinagkakatiwalaan sa akin ng parents ko. When I was in high school and in college, when I was in grade school, I really would just spend. Like, gusto ko bumili ng pagkain, gusto ko lumabas. Wala akong natitipid. And it was when I got older lang na na-realize ko, if I had started saving, even when I was younger, I would have had cash to spare for needs and a bit of my wants, if ever. So, it's really great that students are interested in this. Lalo na now, I think learning how to manage your money, especially during a pandemic, is very, very relevant. And Tito RD and I are so excited to give you guys tips and advice on how to do that.
Nawala. Can't hear. We can't hear you, Venus. We can't hear you. Can't hear you.
How about this? Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Perfect. Okay. Sure. Kinabahan ako doon.
Akala ko nag-ano ka, Sister Venus.
Pantomime.
Nagpa-pantomime.
Yeah. Okay. So the second question that I was asking actually was kung paano kung hindi ako na-train ng mga magulang ko pagdating sa pag-handle ng pera. I think this is the right time para sabihin natin sa kanila, ano ba talaga ang tamang paraan ng pag-handle ng pera?
Yun. Agree. 100%. What was the question? Sorry. Medyo naputol.
Oh, okay. Yung audio ko ba ang medyo putol-putol? May audio?
Okay na ngayon. It's okay na.
Better. Okay. Sige. For example, like me, I grew up na hindi naman ako na-train ng magulang ko o ng nanay ko when it comes to handling money. So, paano talaga ang tamang pag-handle ng pera? Kung wala silang model, walang tao na nagturo sa kanila kung paano gawin ito, what is really the proper way of handling money?
Ako, I don't know about Philip, pero I mean, good friends ko mga parents ni Philip, and I assume na Philip was taught or mentored by his parents, but ako wala talaga. So, gagaya mo, I wish I had read my own book when I was a student nung high school ako or college. Pero widow na lang eh. Parang ngayon, kung estudyante ka, take responsibility, take the initiative na magbasa, na mag-aral, to invest in mga libro or time to ang daming content online na imbis na manood tayo ng mga wala namang masama sa Demon Slayer or manga or gano'n watching or binge watching. Naman tayo. Manood tayo ng mga videos like this. It's gonna be live. And our book ni Philip, yung allowance na hindi bitin, pwede naman siyang order online or an ebook. Spend that time to teach yourself. So wag ka nang umasa sa magulang mo. Baka ikaw pa nga magturo sa magulang mo.
Right.
Hindi rin naman sila tinuruan eh. So kailangan natin i-break yung cycle na yan. Kasi according to statistics, 90% of Filipinos will be broke by the time na magre-retire sila na age 65. Walang natitirang pera. Umaasa sila sa mga anak nila.
Yeah. Actually, parang Sir RD, no? Nagiging parang yan ang nagiging paraan ng mga karamihan sa mga pamilyang Pilipino na kapag tumanda, ito yung gagawin ng anak para sa magulang dahil kumbaga parang naging investment ng magulang yung anak. So naging tuloy ngayon ng anak na ang anak ang mag-aasikaso o kaya naman ay mag-shoulder when it comes to the finances.
Yung nagiging retirement plan ng mga magulang. Yun ang nagiging plan na yung anak na bala sa akin pero a lot of times the parents pagka tumatanda na, ay yun yung time na umaangat pa lang yung mga natututo pa lang mag-ipon, tapos bilang bibigyan mo pa ng another responsibility, di ba, nagpapalaki pa ng mga anak or nagsa-start pa lang. So sana nga mga bata ngayon, pag naging magulang na kayo, huwag na kayong umaasa sa mga anak nyo na dapat pagtanda nyo, yung tipong hindi kayo tataguan ng mga anak nyo.
Totoo, no? I would like to ask some more question about that idea, Sir RD, mamaya. Pero tanungin ko si Phil ngayon. Sige, Phil, if you can give us, let's say, a step-by-step process, ano ba talaga ang prinsipyo na dapat meron ng isang bata na para sa pagkatuto ng pag-iipon ng pera? Meron ba yung percentage? Meron ba yung dapat ganitong percent ang nilalagay mo sa ganito, ganitong percent ang sa ganito? Paano yon, Phil? Can you give us an idea of that?
That's a really good question. To bounce off from what Tito already said, even, yes, my parents did mentor me. They gave me the basics. Pero it was really something that I also developed on my own initiative. And like what Tito already said, it was really mano-mano. Because when it comes to money, iba-iba ang goals natin lahat with regard to handling finances. So, yung first step, for me, at least from my experience, is ano yung plano mo? Alamin yung plano mo sa pera. Why? Kasi pag alam mo yung plano mo sa pera, doon na nagsisimula yung concept ng pag-budget or plano kung saan mapupunta yung pera mo. For example, as a student, binabudget ko na, okay, I have 200 pesos in a day. Kasi ganun yung baon ko dati sa college. So, I have 200 pesos a day. Okay. Inisip ko na agad, okay, magkano yung mapupunta sa commute ko? Magkano yung mapupunta sa pagkain ko? And then, if ever, ano yung matitira? Tapos doon ko na nakaplano, okay, pag may matira, anong pwede ko gawin dito? Will I spend for my want? Or do I save it so that the following day, may extra ako and may matitipid ako? So the first step for me would be have a plan. And then, after you have that plan, which is very day-to-day, pwede ka na mag-develop ng step 2, which are goals for your money. So for example, on a monthly basis, complete yung based on your plan. Ay, okay, kada araw nakakatipid ako ng 50 pesos. 50 times 5, that's 250. So, 250 pesos times 4, that's 1,000 pesos a month. So from that plan na daily savings, you can project a goal for the year na, okay, if I'm saving that much, sige, try kong makaipon for whatever reason, or if you just want to save money for saving's sake, para may buffer ka, especially now, that's important. Then you can have a long-term goal na, okay, siguro for 6 months, try ko mag-ipon na ganito ka mo, and then I'll reevaluate. And from there, once you start small and develop that habit, makikita mo, oh, with just 50 pesos, or even with just 10 pesos a day, cumulatively, malaki na yung matitipid ko. And pwede ko siyang maging buffer for an emergency, or pwede ko din siyang magamit for an expense na pwede ko naman gamitin yung pera ko. At hindi ko na kailangan humingi ng pera sa parents ko. So makakatulong din siya. But it always starts with a plan that you can develop into a long-term goal.
Nice. That's so clear, no, Phil? Kasi kung hindi nga naman talaga alam ng isang bata, ano bang plano ko sa pera na meron ako sa kamay ko? At wala rin siyang goal kung saan niya ito gagastusin. Wala ang mangyayari kasi kung ano lang makita, ano lang ang what do you feel like buying or doing with your money, ganun lang talaga yung gagawin sa pera. But if you have a clear plan and a clear goal, I think that's a great way to start. Sir R, did you have any addition to that?
Yan, tama yan. Tumpak ang sabi ni Philip. So, pero magdadagdag ako, maybe even before that, alamin din natin ang plano or purpose ng Panginoon para sa pera na that is entrusted to us. Kasi first of all, dapat alamin natin yung bakit ba tayo binigyan ng pera ng Panginoon? At atin ba yung pera na yon? So, you know what? I was so shocked nashock ako nung binasa ko yung Bible. And when I did my research, nalaman ko na, alam mo, Venus, na in the Bible, there are 500 verses on prayer, there are 500 verses about faith, but there are more than 2,000 verses about money and possessions in the Bible.
Wow.
So, ibig sabihin niyan, ano kaya ibig sabihin niyan? Ibig sabihin niya, alam ng Diyos kung gaano ka-importante ang pera or what role money plays in our lives. Kasi ang dami yung warnings about money and advice on money from Proverbs everywhere. And Jesus spoke more about money than health and sin. So, pag nabasa mo yung Bible, nakita mo, yung purpose pala, para maging good stewards tayo. Kasi kung hindi tayo pwedeng pagkatiwalaan sa maliit na bagay, kagaya ng pera, paano tayo pagkakatiwalaan dun sa malaking bagay?
Right.
Diba? So, it's about trust and stewardship. So, pag nabasa mo yun sa Matthew chapter 25, yung parable of the stewards, na-realize ko na God uses money pala to develop our character, to develop and test us in terms of how we handle our finances. So, once you realize na yung pera, hindi naman sa atin yan, pinagkatiwala lang sa atin, iba na yung magiging mindset mo, yung approach mo. And that in turn will affect your goals. Like sinasabi ni Philip na, ano dapat ang goals mo? Now I realize na tumanda na ako, yung goal ko pala dapat, simple lang yun, 3 lang yan. So I should earn as much as I can, so I save as much as I can, so that I can give as much as I can.
Nice.
Because you can't give if you don't earn or if you don't save. So earn as much as you can, save as much as you can, so that you can give as much as you can.
That's so beautiful.
Yan yung goal talaga. At the sooner you realize that, and the sooner you experience yung how to earn, how to save, and how to give, ako, ang saya niyan.
Yeah. Ang ganda nun kasi minsan pag ang perspective natin hindi aligned siguro sa kung anong perspective ng Panginoon tungkol sa pera, isipin natin atin to pinaghirapan ko to. So may karapatan akong gamitin ko sa kung anong gusto ko kasi akin naman yung pera na yun eh. But that's a great way na i-align natin yung utak at puso natin sa kung anong sinasabi ng Biblia tungkol sa pag-handle ng pera. You mentioned, Sir RD, to earn as much as I can. Ngayon malapit na ang pasukan at siguro isipin ng mga bata, how can I earn? I'm just a student. Hindi nga siguro ako makakatanggap ngayon ng allowance mula sa magulang ko kasi nasa bahay lang kami, baka hindi ako bigyan ng baon. Ano ba yung siguro mga bagay na pwedeng gawin ng mga kabataan natin ngayon to earn kahit na sabihin natin na estudyante pa lang sila at nasa bahay lang sila ngayon?
Well, in the book Allowance na Hindi Bitin, both Philip and I have our own ways of so baka unahin muna natin si Philip.
Sige, Phil.
Kasi right now, I'm doing it with my son Joshua, who's 12. So.
Nice.
Okay.
Go, Phil.
Yeah, thank you. That's a really good question because it's actually an opportunity for students to learn how to become entrepreneurial and to learn they can start financial independence during this time. I learned that very late and I actually learned mine because I had to. My time kasi, and this actually is also an answer to the question. There was a time when I was in between jobs. I was looking for work and I really did not have any income. So ano yung ginawa ko? I had to look at the reality and say, okay, kailangan ko ng pera. But what can I do to earn money in, of course, a legal and moral way? So I looked around in my room, and I actually saw things and toys that I was no longer using, and they were just there, literally, gathering dust. So naisip ko, okay, I've had these toys for a while. They've already given me joy. It might be time to bless someone else with that and also earn from it. Kasi nangangailangan talaga ako. So I really had to get rid of these toys that I collected. Nakolekta pa po ako ng mga maliliit na figurines dati. And we still had some value. So I decluttered in a way and also sold some of them. I also sold items like books that had been just sitting on my shelves and hindi ko naman talaga nababasa. And so I did what people were, or students, or even people are doing now, or working to earn extra on the side. I went on Facebook Marketplace. I posted all of the things that I was selling. And, by the grace of God, may mga bumili, and I was able to survive. So I would encourage students to do that. Mga estudyante, magugulat kayo. Yung mga pwede niyong pagkitaan, hindi niyo muna kailangan bilhin or i-resell. You can actually just look for items in your room or in your home na pwede niyong sabihin na, ay wait, parang kuwari, may laruan pa eh. Research yun, may value siya. Okay, hindi siya in box, hindi siya mint condition, but if I sell this, baka may pumatol. And true enough, I'm on groups where people really sell toys from when we were younger, pero it's a way to make money. Or you can also sell old items like books or clothes. Of course, another way of doing that would be to get into the business talaga. Like, I have yung girlfriend ko and her sibling and cousin, right now they're in the business of reselling food. So you can also check out items like right now. Ang mabenta talaga ngayon sa pandemic, food, because everyone needs food. So if you're very enterprising, pwede po kayo mag-research kung ano yung hinahanap na pika-pika or na mga ulam ng mga tao, and then you can evaluate and also possibly sell that online. However, with regard to the specifics on that, hindi po kasi ako ganun ka-entrepreneur. I would now pass the opportunity to Tito RD to share how they can get into that formally.
Okay. Pero Philip, siguro you also need to share about pwede ka na mag-freelancer online sa mga Upwork.com, mga Fiverr, even if you're a student, you can offer your services there. Pero right now, I have a son, my eldest, si Joshua, he's 12 years old, so he's a student. Dati binibigyan ko siya ng allowance, 100 pesos a week. So, doon sa 100 pesos a week, natututo siya mag-budget. So, 10% sa tayo, 20% for investment, or what we call the FFA, financial freedom. So, that's what we save and invest in the stock market. So, marunong siya marunong siya bumili ng stocks. Meron siyang stock investment. And then yung 70%, yun ang panggastos niya. Okay? If he wants to buy a new book, like right now, nasa mga Naruto, manga, comic, yun ang binibili niya. Tapos, nung pandemic na, wala na siyang allowance. Okay? So, sabi ko, Josh, some years ago, nag-start na siya sa village namin, Joshua's Fruits. Meron siyang fruit stand. So, we taught him how to sell. Gano'n lang naman, simple naman negosyo. You buy low, and then you sell at a higher price. Tapos, the difference between that is your profit. Diba? So, students, listen, if you want to improve your cash flow, diba? To increase your cash flow, you just earn more, spend less. Okay? To earn more, if you want to go into business, you buy low and then sell high, or sell at a higher price. So, natuto siyang bumili ng mga fruits at a lower price and then sell it at a 20 to 25% profit margin. So ngayon, itong summer, ng pandemic, tinulungan namin siya ni Miriam, ng wife ko, to look for a supplier. So praise God, nakahanap kami ng supplier na friend ko rin who sells a wholesale ng mga mangga tsaka pomelo. So I start siya sa village, and because uso ngayon mga Viber, marketplace, so I got him access into our village Viber marketplace. Tapos sinunod ko siya kung paano mag-post, kung paano anong sasabihin niya, paano pagkuha ng picture. Tapos sabi ko, ikaw na yung mag-customer service, siya fulfillment, ikaw na yung sumugot sa mga inquiries. So bumili, we got credit pa. So binigyan kami ng isang sako ng pomelo na worth 9,000 pesos.
Wow.
Okay? Tapos, sabi ko, ibenta natin yung Joshua, benta mo in 1 week. So, nabenta niya, wala pang 1 week, naubos niya yung 9,000. Ang gross na nakuha niya was something like 12,000. So, in 1 week, nakita siya ng 3,000 pesos.
Mm-hmm.
Pero sabi ko, Josh, since tinuruan kita, hati tayo dyan, 50-50 tayo.
Uh-huh.
Kasi ako namumunan. So, okay lang, Dad, of course. And then of course, so sa 3,000, may one not bad, may 1.5 pa rin siya. Di ba? Less tight, so less 10%, and less 20%. So, so doon sa natira na 1,050 pesos is in his, meron siyang GCash account. So ngayon, sabi niya, Dad, so marunong na siya kumita ngayon. I know, I'll go beyond the question you ask. So yung sumunod doon, kasi di ba, earn as much as you can, save as much as you can, nakasave na siya. And ngayon, give. Sabi niya, Dad, what will I do? Parang, bibili daw niya ng skin sa Mobile Legends or or sabi ko, di ba, what we teach Philip in the book is to pray before you pay.
Yes.
So before you anything, since hindi ko may-ari niyan, si Lord na may-ari niyan, kaya magpaalam ka muna sa may-ari. Diba si Lord ang may-ari? So mag-pray ka, Lord, anong gusto mong gawin ko sa perang to na kinita ko?
Yeah.
So sabi ko, pag-pray mo muna kung saan mo gagastosin yan. Tapos the next day, sabi niya sa akin, Dad, have you ever felt that feeling na when you gave something to someone that it gave you so much joy? Yeah, of course. Why? Well, I decided to give he bought a present, a gift for his friend na medyo depressed, so meron siyang 1,050 pesos. Yung kalahati, pang binabili niya na regalo para sa kaibigan niya. Tapos nung binigay niya sa kaibigan niya online, sigaw na sigaw, super saya. So, sobrang saya. So, in that, in the earning and the saving and then in the giving, parang nakuha ng anak ko si Joshua na student ngayon na ang saya palang kumita and to save. And he knows na hindi madali. 1 week yun, pero he had to binuhat niya yung mga pomelo, gumawa siya ng mga box, nilagay niya, tapos wini-weigh niya isa-isa, tapos he will have to deliver also. So, sabi niya, Dad, mahirap pala kumita, no? Parang, hindi talaga, walang easy money. I mean, any honest money is not easy money. So, at least natutunan ko doon. So, that's one example of the process na holistic.
Ang ganda nun. Ang saya at ang ganda rin pakinggan, Sir RD, kasi when you mentioned, earn as much as you can, save as much as you can, give as much as you can, and when pag nag-earn ka, meron pa palang 10% dapat ita-tithe ko to, dapat ibabalik ko to sa Panginoon. Yung 20% pala dapat isi-save ko para sa investment o kaya kung saan ko pwedeng gamitin na maging savings ko siya. And then yung 70%, yun lang pala yung spending ko. Alam mo, Sir RD, your book probably is for elementary, for high school, and for college students. But to be really honest, nung binasa ko yung libro nyo, sabi ko, grabe, ang dami kong natutunan dito. Na sana natutunan ko to nung kabataan ko. Oo, I give my tithe. Pero alam mo yung, hindi ko iniisip na, dapat 70% lang yung spending ko. Kasi dapat meron akong yung spending, meron pang meron pang kalakalahati . Spending ba to para sa bills or spending ba to para sa pangangailangan ng pagkain or groceries, mga ganon. So, your book is just amazing na kahit ako na matanda na ay natututo pa rin doon sa mga sinulat ninyo. You mentioned about give as much as you can. Minsan kasi ang nasa isip natin or lalo ng mga kabataan natin or ako nung kabataan ko, ang nasa isip ko ay kapag ako nagbibigay, ako'y nawawalan. Ano ba dapat ang tamang perspective when it comes to sharing or giving ng money?
If RD sir can answer that.
Go ahead,
Phil.
Okay. I'll connect it into sa sinabi ni Tito. With regard to the story of Joshua giving to his friend. I think that's an important perspective to remember. Because yes, it's good to have money. It's good to have um, security, especially now that it's a pandemic. But we must also remember to be generous and help those who are in need, lalo na ngayon, because really, we're feeling the economic strain. Not a lot of people are able to go back to work or even resume work from home, unlike some industries. And so, yes, it's good to remember that when we when we have the capability to earn, we say, we be generous to the work of the Lord. But let's also remember to be generous to our neighbors, because it's a good habit then. It teaches us that God blesses us not just so that we will be blessed, but God blesses us so that we can also bless others. And this isn't, I'm not even talking about lending the money to get it back. No, I'm talking about sharing that money and saying, you know what, I'm blessing you with this. You don't have to pay me back. To share then from my experience, there was a time when I wasn't working yet. Of course, I was telling some of my friends, I'm really having a hard time. I don't have work right now, and hindi ata nagpumibenta yung mga items na binibenta ko at that time. And so I was surprised because one day he just went up to me and said, here's an amount of money. Like, what? Yeah, you need it, more than I do at this time. And so that really, struck me. Kasi, yeah, he's earning well, but he remembered, and it reminded me, when you have the capability to earn, it's not just for yourself, it's for blessing others as well.
Yeah, ang ganda nun, na yung binibigyan natin ay sila mismo ay nabibless doon sa amount na, or kung ano man yun, yung na-extend natin sa nangangailangan. Sir RD, paano mo to pre-practice and paano rin to naka-apekto sa personal life mo when it comes to giving?
Sige. Let me share, okay na mag-share ako ng verse sa Bible.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
I'll connect it to a story. So, ito na sa 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 6 to 7 and 11. So, nakalagay dito, remember this, whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly. Or sa Tagalog, tandaan ninyo, ang nagtatanim ng kapuso ay aanin ng kakaungkit. At ang nagtatanim naman ng marami ay aani ng marami. Ang bawat isa dapat magbigay ayon sa sariling pasya, maluwag sa loob, at di mapipilitan lamang. Kapagkat iniisip ng Diyos, kung saan nagbibigay ng may kagalakan. So, in English, God loves his spiritual giver. And what's amazing about this, yung ibibigay natin si God rin ang nagproprovide. Sabi dito sa verse 11, you will be made rich in everything so that you can be generous on every occasion. And through us, the generosity will result in thanksgiving to God. So even yung so na-realize ko, dapat hindi ako magdamot kasi pati yung gustong ibigay ni Lord through me, kasi hindi ko ang pera yon, siya rin nagpro-provide. Siya nang bahala doon. Yeah. So there was one time nung crisis ngayon. Maybe bagay itong story na ito kasi nasa crisis tayo ngayon. I mean, officially daw, as of today, sabi ng CNN Philippines, we're in a recession. Technically, we're now in a recession. And but that has proven that even in lack or in empty, there can be plenty. But even in emptiness, there can be plentiness. So, one time nung may crisis, halos wala akong pera noon. Nagsa-start pa lang ako magnenegosyo. Tapos, so nagpaalam ako sa Diyos. Sabi ko, kasi nagkasakit yung una kong asawa. This was before she died. Nandami kong hospital expenses. Tapos sabi ko, ang natira na lang sa amin, Venus, is just 1 month worth of overhead. Tapos meron ako na itabing capital to start a business na siguro mga worth 50,000 yung capital na na-save ko. So, sabi ko na paano ko, Lord, how do you want me to start this business? How do you want me to spend yung capital? Tapos alam mo, sabi sa akin ni Lord, very loud and clear, sabi niya, give the capital away. give away the capital. So yung 80,000 na pang-start ng negosyo, sabi niya, pamigay ko raw.
Mm.
Paano? So, pero since I know that that God is faithful na walang, I mean, He just healed my wife, there was a miracle healing, and then, basta full trust ako. Diba sabi sa Proverbs chapter 3, 5 to 6, trust in the Lord with 90% of your heart, 100% all of your heart. Diba? And lean not on your own understanding. So, hindi dapat tayo parang nagnanasa dun sa ating sariling pagkaintindi sa sitwasyon. So, in that case, in terms of money, so lean not on your own understanding. Diba? And then the promise is that if we trust in Him with all our heart, He will make our path straight. So that night, I just trusted Him and I gave the money away. So that night, tagal akong check, pumunta ako na, I asked the Lord, who do you want to give me? Make a long story short, I gave it to an orphanage, and then I gave it as a mission sending ministry para sa mga missionaries. And then, I forgot about it. I just natuto ako kung paano, what comes in, ano ba yung pera na pumapasok, nilalag ko yon, ano yung pera na lumalabas, expense, income, tsaka expense. Alam mo, Philip knows this story, pero after a few weeks, I was logging in the amount that was coming in, and I started pa rin the business kahit walang kapital. Natuto ako magnegosyo kung ng negosyo na walang kapital. So I started the business without capital, and the business started to work. God gave me wisdom, and then times 10 yung pumapasok compared to what I had given and obeyed the Lord. And from there on, I said, grabe si Lord. He siksik biglig at umaapaw nga. So it's a mindset that admittedly, as you go along in life, na sana nga ganoon lagi. Pero that was an important lesson to me when I was a young entrepreneur.
Yeah, grabe no, we can't outgive God. Na I can just imagine, Sir RD, when you're talking about ito na lang yung hi Miss Miriam. Usapang po.
Sa lingkit lang ako, gusto ko lang mag-hi.
So great to see you. Usapang pera kami ngayong hapon, Miss Miriam. Marami kaming
resource persons.
Yeah, amazing resource persons. Thank you and congratulations.
Very cheerful giver yan, asawa ko. Grabe yan.
Kung
alam ko na sino pupuntahan. Joke lang.
Mayaman si Papa.
Yes, amen. Mayaman ang tatay natin, Miss Miriam. Congratulations ho sa inyong safe delivery kay Elijah. At si Elijah ay maayos na ngayon.
Yun.
Sige, iwan mo kayo.
Sige po, good to see you. Sweet naman ang dalawang ito. Okay. As I was saying, totoo yung...
Hingin ng kiss.
Yan ang maganda pagka meron hong godly wife, no? Sir RD. Talagang amen. Proverbs kind of woman. As I was saying, how did you feel at that time? Na parang, Lord, ito na lang yung natitirang pwede kong hawakan na pera. I mean, kumbaga parang ito na yung pinaka-blanket ko. Pero ipapamigay ko pa to. Paano ka umabot dun sa decision na yun? I know that you are a godly man, pero I know that it is also difficult to give everything away and wala na. Paano na kami? Paano ka umabot dun sa decision na yun?
Siguro may process, pero God will not do that to you naman, will not ask that from you if He thinks na hindi ka pa handa para gawin yun. Diba? Hindi naman niya gusto na mag-fail ka at mag-disobey. Parang dinala niya ako doon sa puntong yon na dinevelop niya muna yung heart ko for giving tsaka yung trust ko. So, before that kasi, I mentioned yung, hindi pa si Miriam asawa ko noon. Widower ako nung when I met Miriam. So, yung una kong asawa, who's a godly woman, living woman, and mas giving pa siya sa akin. Yung nagkasakit siya ng malubha, ng lupus. So, nakita ko yung pera namin na hinahawakan. Talagang na-drain dun sa hospital, expenses. Pero God was so faithful even during that time na hanggang sa last centavo nag-provide siya for for the hospitalization.
Wow.
And then, not only that, He healed my first wife. So, yung episode na yun, that happened year 2000, 20 years ago. She died 12 years later. Pero at that moment, He healed her, gave her a second life. And then, nakita ko how He provided, nakita ko how He can heal. So when God told me, hindi mo yan, parang sa akin, honestly, okay, Lord, hindi naman ganyan sa puso ko kasi the heart is, hindi ko sasabihin yan ever.
Yeah.
Okay, Lord yun. Kasi di ba parang, what? Ibibigay ko lahat. Okay, alam ko ikaw yan, Lord. So, but I'll just trust in you. And what I did was, that's why binigay ko kagad lahat. I acted right away, doing right. Kasi sabi na, delayed obedience is disobedience.
Yes. Yeah.
Kung pinag-isip ko si Lord, ba't talaga yun? Siya talaga yun? Baka hindi siya yun? Or, ako, bukas na lang kaya? Or the next week, hindi. Pag sigurado ako, I will do. Hindi. Pagka gano'n, hindi ko nagagawin yun. So, that night, I remember, pumuna ako ng checklist. Hindi ko na kagad. And then, full trust, kasi I know His promises. Sabi, di ba? Sabi sa Philippians 4:19. And my God, sabi ni Paul, will provide for, 50% of my needs? 70%. Sabi niya, He will provide for all. 100% of my needs.
Yeah.
According to His riches, not our riches, according to His riches in Christ Jesus. So, it is according to His riches. Ang dami no, He owns the whole world. We have to look at Him as a provider, not us.
Yeah.
Diba? If we have and nakikita na kakulangan natin, sabi nga ni Miriam, mayaman si God, He owns everything. If His promise is to provide for not just 80 or 90, but 100% of our needs, and kailangan, di ba, malaman natin yung needs versus wants, ay di dapat 100% trust naman ako na ito-provide nila.
Yeah, wow. That's so inspiring. Talagang we have to trust our provider, our Father. That's amazing. You mentioned about we have to know we have to know the needs versus wants. Phil, can you give us an idea of ano ba ang kaibahan ng needs and wants at paano ko masasabi na itong isang bagay na to I need at isang bagay na to I want? Just to help our younger people who are watching right now, Phil.
Okay, thank you. Well, first, I want to give a shout out to the awesome tech team who helped me with my audio difficulties, and si Tito RD also pointed out na medyo nagkakaproblema yung audio ko. So thank you guys, you are really awesome. That's a really good question, and that's very important to determine because sometimes we can confuse the two. So naisip ko, ito lang yung difference ng need and want. A want is something you can live without. So, tatagalog ko, ang want, pwede kang mabuhay nang wala yung gamit na yon. Ang need, kailangan mo para mabuhay. For example of a basic need, tubig or inumin. Okay? Kailangan mo ng tubig kasi sa sciences, you can survive 30 days without eating. But you can only survive 3 days without water. So a need is something that is vital to your survival. Bahay is a need, clothing is a need, or else you would suffer from the heat or the cold. Food is also a need. Now, when it comes to that, of course, yung pinaka-basic sa inumin, water. It's healthy. Kailangan mo siya para mabuhay. For food, depending sa kultura, for Asians, it's rice, ulam, and gulay. Anything outside of those simple necessities na pag inisip mo, kailangan ko ba yan? Pwedeng hindi, pwedeng oo. Pero gusto ko lang siyang makuha, That's already a want. For example, if you have a cellphone or kung meron kang gadget na nagagamit mo, okay naman yung kalagayan niya, matibay, and then you see a brand new gadget. Tapos naisip mo, kailangan ko ba ng gadget na bago? Kasi meron naman akong gadget ngayon. Hindi. Pero ang ganda. Gusto ko ng bago. When another sign that something is a want is when you see it, you try to resist it, pero bigla mong gina-justify kung bakit mo siya kailangan. And alam mo na hindi mo siya kailangan sa buhay mo. May mga moments akong ganon, just to share, no? Yes, I have been blessed with the authority to talk about this, but part of that authority is having that experience. I remember one time, bumili ako ng mga snacks gamit ng credit card na pinagkatiwala sa akin ng dad ko. And I bought 5K worth of snacks.
What?
Yes. Even my dad said, what? Normally, I buy a lot less than that. Ano po dito?
5,000 pesos worth of snacks?
Yes, worth
Ano
of
kayang snack nito, Michelle, no?
Yun, mga
Worth
Korean,
of
diba?
snacks. No,
Doritos.
actually, yes, mga chips, ganun po. And my mindset kasi was, okay, I'll buy this much now so that I don't have to buy later on. However, and I say this because I'm speaking about myself, that was really kind of dumb kasi I could have bought it na lang din the following month na patingi-tingi without spending that much money. And so what happened was, I told my dad, of course my dad wasn't happy about that. In the end, I had to pay my dad pa. Kasi syempre, pera niya yun. Even if it was a credit card. And that really taught me responsibility. Now, I didn't need to buy that much snacks. Yes, food is important, but there's a difference between storing wisely and also buying foolishly. Pasensya kung matatamaan po kayong lahat or kung natatamaan tayong lahat doon, but that's something that we need to really remember. Lalo na now, I think one of the good things about this pandemic is that it reminds us of what truly is important. Especially when it comes to even basic necessities. There is a lot more wisdom na, okay, wait, kailangan natin ng pagkain. Pero ano bang klaseng pagkain? Snacks lang ba? Or talaga kanin, gulay, ulam?
So, kung ang need, Philip, yung Jack and Jill potato chips, yan ang need. Pero ang want ay truffle chips or Pringles, or Lay's potato chips na worth 1,000 pesos.
5,000. Sir
With
RD,
friends.
may mga nanonood sa atin ngayon na mahilig sa mga online shopping. Yung
Yun.
tipong add to cart, mga ganon. Paano ba yun makokontrol? Especially kung merong kasamang emosyon. What advice can you give? Kasi ako hindi man ako ma-online shopping, hindi talaga ako mahilig sa online shopping. Pero pag sa totoong buhay na shopping, parang wait lang, it involves everything, even my emotions, my excitement, ganyan. Paano ba yun? How should we manage that? Yung mga add to cart na yun.
Sa book na allowance na hindi bitin, tsaka yung book ko na pera na hindi bitin, we always advise na to stay away from shopping when you're emotional. Kasi many times we buy to make ourselves feel better. Parang sometimes we use shopping to replace God. Diba? Dapat we run to God or Jesus for comfort. Pero marami sa atin...
ang ganda nun. We replace God with Shopee. We run to Shopee instead of running to God. Ganda nun, sir.
Oo, diba? Depressed tayo, kailangan natin ng pampalubag loob or aliw, shopping or di ba? So, pero dapat saan tayo tumatakbo, di ba? Lord, kay Jesus for the comfort. Pero parang yung shopping online lalo, parang si God din, parang all present, omnipresent.
Omnipresent.
Omnipresent. Lalo na pag nakita ka ng sign dun sa online shopping na nakalagay sale, di ba? 11-11, 7-7, whatever, double number. Hanapin nila paraan, pero sale. Sabi nga namin sa book, yung sale, ang ibig sabihin ng sale, stay away, look elsewhere.
Stay away, look elsewhere. Tatandaan ho namin yan.
Yan ang ibig sabihin ng sale. Kasi maraming beses, because of emotion also, napapabili tayo ng sale, and then bigla na lang pag nabili natin, I don't know about you, pero have there been items that you have bought na dahil sale, bili mo, pero pagdating sa bahay, ano nabili to? Kailangan ko pa talaga to? Tapos mamaya ilalagay mo sa cabinet mo. Diba? There's an 80-20 rule. 80%, 20%, we use just 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. And the rest of the 80%, we only use 20%. Yung Pareto principle, tawag na natin. It applies to what we buy. So yun, kailangan talaga pray before you pay. And kami, Mrs., we're also guilty, about when we see a sale, na-expect kami 70% off. Sayang, di ba? Pag hindi natin binili ito. Pero it all boils down back again to stewardship, na magpaalam muna tayo sa may-ari. Even in the malls, sa books, advice namin ni Philip na may nakita tayo on sale or that something, kunyari sapatos, ilam na ilabas, wow, ang ganda ng sapatos. So, papogi ako dito, pag suot ko, na-imagine na natin na, wow, pampogi-pogi ko dito. Pero, before you buy that, okay, we pray, and then, pag wala pa sagot si Lord, ibig sabihin, you have to wait on the Lord. So, sasabihin mo ngayon sa sales lady, sandali lang po, pwede ba itabi mo muna yan ng hanggang bukas or 2 days from now, tapos babalikan ko yan. And then, di ba, tatabi naman yan, and then pwede, sige sir, hanggang bukas na or 2 days, sige. Alam mo, many times ginawa ko yon. After, hindi ko na nababalikan. Ayun pala, hindi ko nga sabi kasi pala siya, want pala siya. Hindi siya.
Yeah.
So, sa pandemic, online shopping, dapat iwanan, lagay mo lang sa cart, pero wag mo munang i-check out. Tapos, nakakalimutan mo rin yan.
Oo nga. Yeah, kasi minsan talaga, pag emotional tayo, yan din yung yan, dyan tayo nalalaglag eh. Eto, there's a question here from our audience. It says here, how will you balance, okay. Meron kasing tanong about online selling. And now, parang ang trend is, we support local business. Kaya karamihan sa mga bumibili ay kapag may friend or ganito online na nagbebenta, they support local business. So we buy that. Paano ba natin yun i-balance na you're supporting local business but at the same time, you're not just buying for the sake of buying na baka ikaw ay hindi na rin kaya ng budget mo. Paano ho yun?
So, who do you want to answer that question?
Phil, do you have an idea, Phil?
Actually, yes, I do. Because I've been in that spot recently. I have friends who have been promoting their wares, either food or items. And nakakatuwa kasi you see the initiative. So, okay, this isn't a hard set rule kasi we have to understand then the two sides. They're being productive, those people selling their wares, they're being productive by offering a product. But on your end as a consumer or a customer, yes, it's good to help, but we also need to understand yung kakayahan natin. Kasi, again, going back to also being generous, because that's one way to be generous, to support your friends, to support ventures. But let's also remember na during, especially at least in the context of a pandemic, during this time, we also need to be wise with the way we spend our money. So for example, if you do want to support your friend, wag mo naman sanang umorder kayo ng pagkain sa kanya every week. Kasi, di ba, kailangan nyo rin mag-ipon. Siguro, i-plano nyo na lang, like what I said earlier, yung plan where the money goes. Siguro you can say, sige, hindi ko kaya bumili linggo-linggo. But sige, I'll buy na lang once a month, at least to show support. So that way, yes, for example, kung yung binibenta nila worth 250 pesos na pagkain, per month, you're only spending 250 pesos as opposed to in 1 month when you buy when you buy weekly, you spend 1,000 pesos a month.
Yeah. Yeah, ganda nun, Phil. At the same time, natutulungan natin yung ating local businesses. Pero, iniisip mo rin yung kakayahan mo bilang isang consumer. Sir RD, before we end, actually, I would wanna ask you this question. Sir?
Okay.
Yeah. I would like to ask you this question kasi meron ding mga magulang na nanonood sa atin ngayon. Kung magulang ang nanonood sa atin ngayon, ano ba yung anong magagawa nila to actually help their children when it comes to using their money wisely? Paano dapat ginaguide ng isang magulang ang isang anak pagdating sa paghahawak ng pera?
Yun, every financial decision is a spiritual decision. So kailangan natin as bilang magulang, yung mga magulang nandiyan, kailangan natin i-model sa mga anak natin yung tamang paraan ng paggastos ng pera o paghawak ng pera. So, bumabalik naman tayo dun sa sino ba may-ari ng pera? Hindi naman tayo. Diba?
Yeah.
So, unang-una, steward tayo. So, meron tayong master. Sino yung master natin? Nag-surrender na ba tayo sa master natin? Have we surrendered our lives to that master? Kasi, ang hirap gawin nun eh. Yung sinasabi kong pray before you pay, or if the Lord tells you to give what you, for example, yung example ko kanina, hindi ako darating sa punto na kaya kong ibigay lahat kung wala akong relasyon sa Panginoon. So, ang gusto ko sabihin sa mga magulang dyan, pakita muna natin, o hindi na pakita, i-model muna natin yung total surrender, total trust sa Panginoon. So, tanong ko sa mga magulang, nag-total surrender na ba kayo sa Panginoon? Sa Panginoon Jesus? Have you surrendered your lives to Jesus Christ? Kasi doon lang tayo, once we surrender our lives to Jesus Christ, sabi niya, at minahal natin siya, sabi ni Jesus, if you love me, you will obey me. Diba?
Yeah.
So, mahal ba natin siya? Oo. Sige. Kung mahal mo siya, i-obey mo na siya. Even when it comes to money. And how will we know kung ano yung mga gusto gawin natin sa pera kung hindi tayo magpasa ng Bible? So, kailangan makita rin ng mga anak natin na they see us in total surrender to the Lord, obeying Him in His Word, and when they see that, gagaya sila gagaya sila sa atin. So that's why at this moment, I want to pray for the parents, especially now, na alam niyo mga magulang, kailangan magpakita tayo sa mga anak natin na surrendered ang buhay natin sa Panginoon. So, I like ang favorite motto ko na naisip ko lang, Venus, is a life surrendered to Christ is a life surrounded by miracles.
A life surrendered to Christ
is a life surrounded by miracles.
Is a life surrounded by miracles. Nice.
When you surrender your life to Christ, you will see miracles of provision, miracles of restoration, the miracle of being a new creation. So yung mga dati mong gawi, maybe you're addicted to, napapagastos ka kung may addiction ka, kung meron ka mga addiction to shopping or addiction to gambling or addiction to food, anything that you're replacing God with can be an addiction or an idolatry. So how do you do that? You just surrender your heart, you surrender your life to Christ. And I did that. God used money to bring me to a point that I surrendered my life to Christ. When I was not yet a follower of Jesus Christ, God found a way na para malugi ako sa negosyo na wipe out lahat ng mga savings ko sa isang promotion, isang concert promotion. And then, hold on.
si Elijah ba yung umiiyak? Cute.
Yes. Sorry,
It's
very
okay.
crucial point. Crucial point. Yeah. So anyway, God brought me to the point na that she took away all my money.
Mm.
So to the point na I had nothing at all, and brought me to the point na, Lord, hindi ko kaya itong bigat na problema. Ang daming kong utang, I have no more money. If you're real, can you just help me? And God was so faithful. He brought me to a Bible study when I cried out to Him, and I learned about God's ways. And I just remember surrendering my life. I said, Lord, ang hirap, just ko yung pera. I feel like I'm the boss of my life. I just want to surrender my life to you, Lord. You be the CEO of my life. You be my Lord. You be my Savior.
Yeah.
So it's only at that point where you can properly manage money, or you can properly manage your life, or you can properly manage your relationships, and God will restore all of that. So I'd like to invite, if it's okay, sis,
Yes,
to invite
definitely,
us
please.
into surrendering their lives to Christ. I feel na hindi to aksidente. If you're here right now, you're watching, even not just the parents out there, even you guys, if you're a student and you want to surrender your life to Christ, wow, this is the time. We can do it right now. Salvation has come to you today. So if that is you, if you want to surrender your life to Christ, everything, your life, your finances, your relationships, can you type in? Can you say, yes, that's me? Yes, I want to surrender. Can you type in yes? And I'll pray for you right now. I can see your names. And if you write, just say yes. You say yes, I want to surrender. Yes, I want to just type in the chat box. Say yes.
Yeah, you guys can type in your yeses on our chat box. And we would love to pray for you.
Whether you're an adult, whoever you are, baka yung iba nahiya kasi makikita yung pangalan nila dito. Whoever you are, let me say this prayer for you guys. Okay, if you want to surrender your life to Christ, it's just a simple prayer. Just say, Lord, God Father, salamat at dinala mo ako sa FB Live na to. Maaring hindi nyo pa punta, pero yun, nandito kayo ngayon. So just say, Lord, sinusurrender ko lahat sa iyo. Ang aking buhay, ang aking allowance, ang aking finances. I surrender to you. I confess and admit that I am a sinner, na makasalanan ko ako, at hindi ko kayang salbahin ang sarili ko. Kaya, Panginoon Diyos, Panginoon Jesus, nagpapasalamat ako at binigay mo ang buhay mo para sa akin. Lahat ng aking mga utang, lahat ng aking kasalanan. So Lord Jesus, I surrender my life to you. I open my heart to you, binubuksan ko ang pinto ng aking puso para ikaw ay manirahan sa aking puso. Surrender po ako sa inyo ngayon. May you just speak to me, Lord, through your word. At turuan mo ako kung paano ko mapapasaya ang aking Diyos na ikaw. Lord, ikaw na ang aking Diyos, ikaw na ang aking Panginoon, ikaw na ang aking Savior. Maraming salamat po. Sa ngalan ni Jesus. Amen. Yes. I see you all. Yes, all those who said that you want to surrender, God sees your heart. Alam nyo, right now, ang promise niya, bago pa yung creation. So, alam mo, yung pera, kayang-kaya yan. Tumatayo na talagang, if you surrender your life, everything else, yung paghawak ng pera, yung mga love life nyo, yung finances nyo, your relationships, career, everything else will just fall into place. Diba, Philip?
Yeah, that's so beautiful, Sir Ardy. Thanks for leading us to prayer. Phil, you mentioned that you are a discipler, and sa mga kasamahan natin dito na siguro hindi pa sila part ng isang small group, saan ka ba nila pwedeng ma-reach if they want to be part of your small group, especially for the young men who are watching us right now?
Okay, thank you for that, Venus. I'll send the chat, or actually you guys can chat with me naman. I think my name is here, or I'll post a comment na lang din. But also, you can check the link that Elevate posted sa FB Live. There's a comment here. There's a link to the small groups, and you can just click that, and you will be plugged in a D group from there. I think you have to fill out some details lang also. I'm trying to look for it lang din now. Hindi ko masyadong makita.
Nakapen siya. So it's there. Nakapen
Okay,
siya.
there we
So,
go.
yeah, they can just check that.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much. Phil, thank you for your time. Sir Ardy, thank you for your time. Thank you even for initiating to pray for us. We really appreciate that. Salamat sa inyong insight dahil alam namin na yung mga sinabi ninyo ay talagang gold yun. Kailangan namin i-treasure yun dahil makakatulong talaga yun sa aming lahat. And thank you from the bottom of our heart.
You're welcome. Videos, pa-plug lang kami ni Philip.
Yes po. Yes, this book, that's what I'm talking about. Ang allowance na hindi bitin. So guys, kung hindi nyo pa nababasa yung libro na yan, you can find that in Goodreads. You can also find that in Amazon. You can find that in Kindle or in OMF. Kung may mga bookstore kayo na malapit sa inyo, you can find that book. It's amazing. Ay, nako talaga. Treasure yan.
Ito yung binili yung online. So, omflit.com or passagesbooks.com. Philip will also
That's
put
again,
it on...
OMF. Can you repeat that, sir?
Yeah, omflit.com or passagesbooks.com.
Great. That's amazing. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate your presence here tonight.
All right. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you also. Yeah, bless everyone.
That was an amazing conversation. Grabe, ang dami ko hong natutunan. Talaga, I truly recommend that you read that book kasi ibang klase, sobrang laking tulong. Ang sobrang tumatak sa akin is when our guest said na ang pera naman talaga, sa totoo lang, hindi atin yan. Minsan pag nagtatrabaho tayo, iniisip natin na, pinaghirapan ko to, akin to. Pero if we know that everything that we receive is from the Lord, I think we will have a proper perspective when it comes to tithing, when it comes to giving, when it comes to saving, when it comes to spending. Talagang magkakaroon tayo ng maayos na perspective about that. And also, when he said that every financial decision is a spiritual decision. And a life surrendered to Christ is a life surrounded with miracles. Ang pera ho ay pera, pero ang importante ay kung paano natin gino-glorify ang Panginoon sa resources na meron tayo at ibinigay niya sa atin. So don't forget those percentage, 10% tithing, 20% savings, and then 70% lang yung spending natin. Do not spend when you are emotional. Dahil medyo mahihirapan tayo dyan kapag emosyon ang inuna natin sa ating spending. Thank you very much for tuning in. Meron ho tayong few announcements bago ho kayo magpahinga para sa sa gabing ito. Again, our service every Sunday, that's Songs of Promise. Yan pa rin ang ating pinag-uusapan. You can tune in at 9 o'clock, 12 noon, 3 p.m., and 6 o'clock in the evening. And also, if you want someone to counsel you, if you need online counseling, you can contact Life on the Line. That's online counseling. That's CCF Online Counseling. You can go to that link posted on screen. And also, this is if you want to be part of a small group, eto ho yung sinasabi namin. That's the link for you to get connected to a small group, yung sinasabi ho ni Phil kanina. And as well as kung kayo ho ay kabataan, parte ho ng Elevate. You can also chat us here in Not Alone para ho ma-place din namin kayo sa isang small group pag kailangan nyo ho ng makakasama. Also, if you are a younger person, Elevate, yan ho ay nag-i-air pa rin sa Elevate Facebook main and sa YouTube Elevate Main TV. That's every Saturday, 3 p.m. And finally, Sa next week ho, magkita-kita tayo. Ito napakaganda ng ating pag-uusapan next week dahil tungkol naman tayo sa fitness. Ayan, meron tayong pa-exercise and I hope that you will get insights kung paano tayo mas magiging healthy sa ating buhay kahit quarantine. And don't forget to also follow us on our social media accounts, notalone.ph on Instagram, notaloneph on YouTube, and Not Alone, of course, here on Facebook. Thank you very much for tuning in at magkita-kita ho ulit tayo sa susunod na Thursday. God bless you guys!